He called me a pathetic excuse for a man, spitting the words like venom, his face flushed red with rage. Without a shred of mercy, he tore my report in half as if it had personally insulted him. I didn't flinch. Not when the torn pages fluttered the floor like lifeless feathers. Not even when she clicked sharply across the room in her heels, the sound echoing like a gavel striking down my fate. "You're fired. Effective immediately," she said coldly, then drove the knife deeper. "And the kids, they're not yours. Never were. Get out of our lives." 30 minutes. That was all they gave me. 30 minutes to vanish, to erase every trace of myself from their perfect little world. I said nothing. I simply grabbed my keys and walked toward the door. Then their phones exploded. 99 missed calls. The first wave of many consequences to come. They say love makes you blind, but I wasn't blind. I was loyal. There's a difference. I married Vanessa knowing full well her father, Arthur Kingston, the CEO of Kingston & Vale, disapproved of me, a financial analyst from a state school with no pedigree. I was beneath their carefully crafted image. I thought I could prove myself. I was wrong. They didn't want a son-in-law, they wanted a pawn. So I became useful. 70-hour work weeks, building their failing investments into multi-million-dollar triumphs. I missed birthdays, anniversaries, even the twins' first steps. All for them, for the chance to belong. But belonging was never part of their plan. Control was. They gave me a corner office, a hollow title, and smiles worn like masks. I held on for the kids, for the illusion that maybe, just maybe, I could earn their love. Vanessa played her role to perfection. The devoted wife in public, the cold strategist behind closed doors. She had the Kingston charm, polished, poised, poisonous. And I was a fool, loving her anyway, until the cracks started to show. It began with receipts, literal receipts. Hotel bookings under her maiden name, dinners charged to our joint card at places I had never been. I asked once. She laughed it off as business. But the lies grew lazy. Phones left face down. Passwords changed without reason. Our anniversary slipped by with nothing more than a forwarded e-card. The twins started calling me Daniel instead of Dad. One night, I overheard her whispering to the bedroom door. I stayed silent. "He suspects nothing," she said, voice low and cold. "Soon he'll be gone. We'll own everything." She wasn't talking about the house. She meant me, so I stopped being her husband and became her shadow. No shouting, no confrontations, just quiet observation. I documented every lie, every forged financial report she made me sign, every shady offshore transaction Arthur orchestrated, every expense Vanessa charged to the company's philanthropic arm, funding her lover's lavish lifestyle. I built a case, not just personal, but corporate, tax fraud, embezzlement, SEC violations. I quietly ordered a paternity test. The results shattered me, but also freed me. The twins weren't mine. They never had been, but I raised them. I loved them. That love didn't disappear. It sharpened my focus and gave me clarity. I met with a journalist, one hungry to take down Kingston and Vale. I handed her a flash drive full of everything. Then I met with a prosecutor. Finally, I called my lawyer and waited. The morning they staged their ambush, they thought they were in control. Arthur screamed. Vanessa spat venom. The twins stood silent, trained to ignore me. I let them finish. Then I looked at Vanessa one last time and said, "I hope he was worth it." She smiled like she'd won. I stepped outside. Their phones lit up like slot machines hitting the jackpot. 99 missed calls. The firm's board had received an anonymous package that morning. So had the IRS, the SEC, and the New York Times. By noon, Arthur's face was plastered across every screen. Kingston and Vale were under federal investigation for fraud. Clients pulled out in droves. Stocks plummeted 47% in 3 hours. The FBI raided the office. By dinner, Vanessa's charity was frozen, her assets seized. The man she cheated with, an executive, turned state's witness the moment his name surfaced. They left me with nothing, but I made sure they lost everything. It's been 11 months now. I live in a modest one-bedroom near the river. Peaceful, honest, paid for in full. I see the twins sometimes, during court-ordered supervised visits. They call me Daniel, but sometimes, when they think no one's listening, they slip and say Dad. I don't correct them. Vanessa filed for bankruptcy. Arthur is under house arrest, awaiting trial. They gave me 30 minutes to leave. But in the end, I took their legacy, their reputation, their illusion of power. All I needed was silence, timing, and truth. The thing about betrayal is it only works once. After that, you're just handing them the rope. And I let them tie the noose themselves. I walked out a ghost. I came back their reckoning.